What's up, guys? We're gonna brobeatz. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make some cyber trap beats. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Now let's get started with our melody. So here we have a little pluck. Okay, just a little bell pluck. So I got a 155 BPM. I would say 150 to 160 plus is good. So I just went in the middle between that 150 to 160 range. Scale, definitely probably a major. You can use a minor, but typically you want to use a major. Let's do a sharp major. Let's go in here. And for this, it's gonna sound a little weird if you make melodies in minor all the time. So just be aware of that. So we can just use some quick little, let's put our note on the root and let's pull it up an octave. Actually, could probably do something like that. And then you just want to play on the grid, off the grid. All right, so pretty much just like something like this, and then you would offset the notes like this, and that's to give it a rhythm. Right, and that's pretty much what you want to do. But in this process, the first step, I think keeping it simple is better. I'm gonna change my grid so I can make these shorter. So I'm gonna come back to this note. Let's maybe take this A and then let's make a chord out of it like this, and then we can use some of these notes. And then we want to keep that on the grid, off the grid, maybe. All right, it sounds simple now, but that's good. And let's double this up and pull this up. You can copy it over, and then for variation, you can literally just delete a note. All right, so now we need a bass line. So we pretty much did this backwards, which is fine. You could do it anyway. So to find a bass line, all you have to do is take this note, whatever note you started with, and just make a chord backwards. So you literally just, instead of going up like this and making a chord, skipping every other note, right, to make a chord, oops, you just go backwards. So take this like that, and then now you have some notes you can use, and then we can pull these down, and I probably need to pull that down so we have room. And we can just pull them down like that, and then you can kind of fill in the blanks like so. So we're gonna complete the chord, and you can just fill in that note because there's no notes in between. Simple as that. So all we need to do now is just copy it over. We can just copy it to our pad. Here's the pad. Okay, just for some texture. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is add our lead. Next up, we're gonna layer our lead. So I have a hard lead here, and then a softer-ish lead. Okay. So layering is very important for this style, just to get a full sound. So we're gonna go in here, and this is the fun part. You can kind of be creative with the melody. You don't have to really make it any type of way. You can just go crazy if you want. Right. One pattern I do like is something like this, and then from this note you would pull it down. All right, you can keep going. Something like that. So we can maybe do something. And then let's maybe do something like this where we pull it up. So we kind of do the same thing here, but just try to have some fun with it. It doesn't have to be too serious all the time. Let's pull that over, and then we're gonna pretty much take this and make a chord backwards and delete that note. Pull it over. Now we have a little decent melody. So it's just a bunch of counter melodies. Just copy it over. All right, so I like that. Next thing, we're just gonna add our hard lead. Now this one is kind of like to solidify the melody, to give it like a main melody sound. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we're gonna go ahead and throw down our hard lead. So this would kind of be like an overhaul for our melody. I went ahead and changed this old hard lead to soft lead because I thought it would just make more sense to have 2 soft leads it's just simpler. So 2 soft leads and these are I would say those are soft leads, right, to some degree. And this is way sharper. So I just want to make that a lot clearer. So let's go here and pretty much we're just gonna overhaul this. So you can just maybe do something like this. I'm gonna make sure. Let's just copy that over, right? It doesn't need to be the best melody in the world, just something. Okay, I like that. So if you have a lead and it's not in mono, what you could do is go and find your settings in the voicing settings and turn it on mono and legato, and it'll sound like that. All right, and that's why I can kind of get away with taking some notes out. All right, so that is our lead. Let's go ahead and go on to our synth bass. Next up, we have our synth bass. So this is the bass that I have. Real quick, I'm going to pretty much take this from here and just pull it down an octave because I feel like this was too high. So I just want to try pulling it down. And I like that a lot better. So we're gonna run with that. Let's go in here and pretty much we need to go and copy our bass line. And this will kind of glue everything together. And I kind of like playing around with the octaves with synth basses. All right, you see how it just came together. So I like that. I'm gonna play it one more time. All right, so now we can go ahead and make the beat. So we're gonna do our low end first and then our drums. Now let's go ahead and do our low end. So we're just gonna copy this here and we're just gonna shift D it and maybe pull it up to about D♯5. And I'm going to turn it off just so we have something to work with. And I don't want to overdo this one. I want this to be pretty simple. And then we can copy this to our kick and just, I think it's Alt-K. There we go. And I'm gonna offset one of these. All right, so that is our low end. Now we can go ahead and do our drums. Now let's go ahead and throw down our drums. So I might speed this up a little bit because it's pretty simple stuff. It's just, we already got our kick down. Now we're just kind of just layering some of these drums and stuff. Oops. I'll just leave it here. All right, so we got that down. We just add the rest of these little drums. It doesn't need to be overly complicated. All right, and that's our beat. So I'll play it with the 808. And of course we could mix it, but I'm just leave it as is. Synth bass, and I will probably leave the 808 out on this because I like the synth bass and kick better together. All right, and that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.